Hello guys, sometimes I just need to talk open and honestly. I don't believe a lot of people. The only thing that I believe is to get the experience by myself. And maybe you are in the same situation like I am. I want to get out of the 9 to 5 struggle and reach the financial and time freedom. But this is not something which you can gain in a couple of days. It takes so much effort and time, but I will reach it. Maybe you are 1 or 2 videos away to getting your breakthrough to the 9 to 5 struggle and reach with one video, maybe millions of people. You can help them in their lives. They can see your profile, they can see the journey and start following you. If you are able to affect a lot of people in the world, you will get the law of affection. And the law of affection tells us the more people you reach and change their lives, the better you can earn money and get wealthy. And that is one goal of mine. I can't tell you when exactly this will happen, but what I can tell you is I will try everything in my power to reach that goal. And the only thing that I can do, and that is something how I want to motivate you to get you into doing, is to improve with every video that you're putting out and get better in everything that you are doing currently. It doesn't matter if it's in work, social media, or just learning a skill, language, or whatever. The only important thing is to improve and get better. And with that, let's start with my Bitpanda portfolio to see my crypto. If we look at my day view, that changed a couple of things, but let us go to the overall performance. And as you can see, I started on the 30th of January 2025 with around 560 USD. And it's not hard to filter out that it went immediately down after I started my investment into crypto. But if we check the last update, there's a spike up. Why is that? If we go for my initial amount of 560, I went to currently around 712 USD. Why is that? The reason for that is a provision which I gained with signing into this crypto broker. This was the reason why I get around 150 to 160 USD just to start with this account. And here's my question, guys. What would you do currently with that money and how would you invest it? I've put all the money into the market because I always think time in the market beats timing the market. So with that, I split the 160 USD into 3 to 4 parts. And one part was like around 40 USD buying Bitcoin, 60 USD was going into Ethereum, around 30 USD went to Solana. And as I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to buy Aptos and I did it as well with around 30 USD. So my money is in the market. And in the next week, most probably, I will build up Cardano and Sui. I'm not 100% sure why this both, but I would always prefer to Cardano instead of Sui. But that will be not a huge amount, just to let you know. And that was the interesting part. I always invest the biggest amounts just into Ethereum and Bitcoin because these are the biggest player and most probably the safest in the crypto market. And I also figured out I want to improve. That is the reason why I let you know. A lot of these coins are not possible to put out into a ledger. Like at almost every platform, you can just put out the biggest player like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana into your hardware wallet. That means I have here in my Bitpanda account just my playing money, and most probably if I have larger amounts into Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana, I will put it into my hardware wallet, but otherwise I will let it here on the broker. And this is something which I always say, like, don't do that. If you want to have your crypto safe, put it into your wallet and you know it is yours. So I made a couple of thoughts after all, and I want to build up a couple of things. That means I will put around $800 to $1,000 into my crypto broker Bitvavo and buy most probably the 3 big player, which I mean Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe a little bit of Solana, and I will build up Cardano and Sui. If I have a little bit more money left, I will buy a couple more of Aptos. But for right now, that would be all for my crypto. Because I have something bigger in my head. And that is my stock portfolio. Because this is the thing where I always plan in long term. It is not about the fast money and not about getting rich quick. This is just how I invest and my journey. And if you see, I'm currently with the unrealized profit and loss at just almost 300 USD. And in comparison to the past, it is almost the worst that I have currently. Because I invest most of the time strongly in the US market, and if the tariffs and other political reasons kick in, the market will be unsafe, and if it's unsafe, people start to sell their stocks. For that reason, I'm just at overall $300 in profit. But this is something which is not as negative as you can think. If we look into my positions which I hold, you can see that the ETFs and stocks which I bought very early in comparison to other stocks are overall still in a profit and save up my overall profit and loss. I would never expect that 29 Xiaomi stocks will bring me around 150 in profit. But these are my ETFs and stocks which are still going very well. But let us go to the bottom area. And here we have my biggest holdings like WU, my S&P 500, which is currently down overall around 152 USD. And the current price is at 517. And this is something which I will buy as well. Google, it went from around over 220 USD to currently 163, and I have a cost average buying price of 176 USD. This is something which I also will buy. And last but not least, most probably I will buy more in Amazon. And I don't have a lot of Amazon stocks in comparison to Google, but this time with such a huge market drop can create wealth over time. And I think this is also a reason why it's always clever to put a little bit money aside, invest regularly, and if you have a chance like this where the market uncertainty is very big, it is your opportunity to buy. And most of the people will just tell you to buy stocks which they have in their portfolio, like really huge, but don't show what they're doing, what they're planning, and what their next steps is. And this is the difference between me and all the other people. I show you exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, and you can see step by step over time how my wealth go through the roof. And this is still the starting game. Here, 10 to 20% doesn't matter at all. But if we speak in 5 years again or 10 years again, the whole situation will be different, because then you have to handle big numbers. And with that, 5 to 10% or even 20% is huge. So you have to pay attention to be safe over most of the time. But for me currently, I'm honest, I risk a lot, I try a lot. And at the end, we will see if it's worth it or not. Hope you liked this video, guys. In the next week, I will do one of my biggest investments on my channel overall, and hope you like it, you get the value out of it, and maybe start as well to be motivated. But please be sure you do the correct things, because it is your money which could be gone. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.